Well, all right, y'all. So welcome back to Love 24 Hours here, where we view content that can either brighten or enlighten your day. Like, yo, listen. So I've had this conversation, right? As far as laughing during the intro, I've had this conversation with like two or three other different people. And now every time I go to do it, like, bro, I know I'm be thinking about those conversations because it's just, I don't know. Listen, y'all, I'm your weird best friend, right? What else do you expect? Okay, so I was really about to just go into details about those conversations. But I'm not. Okay, so yeah, you know what? Whatever. Never mind. Just y'all, just forget about all that. Okay. Without further ado, let's just go ahead and just jump straight into the video.
These clear plastic bins are perfect for making miniature greenhouses, but let's get a little creative. For this one, you're gonna need 2 plastic bins. The size is up to you. I am using 18 long, 12 wide, 11 height. This size bin can hold 6 small pots comfortably. I'm also using 14-inch bamboo stakes. Every plant parent should have some of these laying around. I'm also using that same chicken wire that we use to make moss poles. Cut it to size, of course. I should probably be using 4 bamboo sticks, but this is all I had laying around. But I'm sure you get the idea. If secured properly, the strength of this thing should easily hold another 6 plants on the top layer. The bamboo stakes will keep the bins separated for good airflow. Now all you need is some light. Happy planting, y'all.
It takes a lot of energy to be the ego. It takes no energy to be yourself. Again, it takes a lot of energy to keep up the ego, to be the ego. This is why I can prove that personality is not real, it's not true. Because with personality, very often when we meet other beings, you are uncomfortable. We start to play, to perform, to make sure that your mind is saying, oh, you did very well, you was very impressive, you looked really good. Even when you're talking, it's like you're in front of a camera, and it's like this. So it's exhausting. And if you keep it up, then people start to feel, I don't like people. Why? Because you feel uncomfortable with them. So this already shows your personality is not true state, the egoic personality. You see? When you are comfortable in yourself, you don't mind who, you're not performing. And so you can really meet and you can afford to be empty. You don't come with a bag of tricks. You don't need it. And so when we meet like this, love flows completely unimpeded. And your space becomes panoramic. Your joy flows like a river.
I'm gonna be honest with you, fasting is the cure for everything. When your body don't have nothing to eat, it's gonna eat all your bad cells up because it go into fight or flight. And when it eats your bad cells, your body release hydrogen. And we breathe in oxygen. Sure. So I be wondering like, damn, I done went all day without eating and drinking, but I'm still pissing. Like, why am I pissing? Yeah. We create our own water.
When's the fast? Is it the sun's up to down?
That's what most people do, from sun up to sundown. But I like to do it to where when I break my fast, it's just with liquids. I like that liquid diet.
What's the longest you fast for?
Like no food, just water, liquids.
Yep.
Like 42 days. I did about 3 of them.
42 days?
I hate what I'm about to say. I don't even want to say.
I don't hate it. We learn it. This I ain't gonna lie. This
nah, it's kind of deep.
You go there, bro.
Nah, I'm okay. I'm gonna just say this: when you fast, things really, you're not delusional when you fasting. Things really get weird because you're not you seeing beyond the physical realm. You seeing into the spiritual realm.
Why are you protecting? Why are you protecting going deep? Some of your experiences,
it's crazy.
Somebody to hear.
Not to cut you off, but it's like I'm.
It's not that.
My boy, I swear to God, bro. My boy last night, he fasted out. It was his first time doing it. And he telling me like I should try it, and I'm just listening to what bro talking about it. Just like I'm hearing double, like it's just crazy, bro. So I want you to go into
it's
that.
not that I'm afraid of it, it's just that I stay away from spiritual conversations because it's like, you know, people try to destroy things that are sacred and beautiful
because they don't
and
know.
powerful.
But how would that look though? Why does it matter? Why does it matter? You know what I'm saying?
So we out here, that's what you saying?
Yeah, because like
he don't want no filter.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, you mean you feel like it's more attention to you, or
nah? It's just in general. I think just the general fact that he's saying when you talk about stuff,
like I was trying to like kind of keep everybody, keep my wingspan around everybody. But if you want to.
No, because like when you talk about fasting, bro, like when you you pray and you meditate and you write down, like so much stuff comes up and so many things can happen, but you gotta be really aligned though.
When I need something, when I'm really in need, like if I need the answer, I need clarity, I stop eating. I hate to, like, I know this sound weird to people when they hear this, but it take about that 40 to really reset who you are as a person. That 21 gonna be a complete like reset. But then once you get in that 40, man, close to them 30, that's when things get weird.
See, I was doing
in a good way.
Yeah. I did 21 and I was eating like nuts and peanuts, like kind of like paleo, like Jesus died, they call it.
Is that cool? What's your suggestion on somebody?
It's like,
what's your suggestion on somebody that's never done it before? Like starting off. Like what would you suggest?
The slower you go, the further you get. The slower you go, the further you get. If you can only do 2 or 3 days, then one day work your day to 6 days. Work your way, just going slow. I ain't just go straight to the 40. Right. I did like 3. I was like, yeah, that's cool. Then I started doing like 7. I'm like, that's cool. Did 20-something days one time. I'm like, man, I'm about to go that whole 40. I know I could do it. And I had weak moments, but that's where prayer come in. That's when I tap into my spirit. I don't know why people want you to think that the spirit, Holy Spirit comes into your spirit is already holy. Right. Out of 5 billion sperms, you was the one that made it. I heard Dick Gregory say that. Your spirit already holy. It was supposed to be.
You'll see my face in every place, but you can't catch me now.
Did you know if you grab a ginger root from a store and throw it in a pot with soil, cover it lightly, water it every other day, and in a couple of weeks, check this out, life is sprouting out of the soil. Amazing! But even more amazing, there's magic happening underneath the soil. Check back in a couple of months and you'll see. Whoa. All this ginger from one piece to save your money and grow your own ginger.
There's a book came out in 2002 or 2001 called Time and the Technosphere. The technosphere is generally the matrix that we are in. Now, this matrix that we are in, this illusionary world that we are in, is created by junk DNA. In so many words, our melanin creates this matrix prison that we are in. So both the junk DNA and the connected DNA. So we have the junk DNA, which is disconnected from the DNA. Both the junk DNA or the connected DNA is constantly emanate a vibratory signals and pulses that transmit throughout our whole body mind, effectively creating a genetic hologram or in a 3D world around us. So this 3D world we call the matrix, we call it Maya, we call it illusion. The 3D collective consciousness hologram is created by junk DNA signals, which come to be known as the hologram created, or what is also be known as the technosphere matrix, the matrix of technology. human thought and the collective consciousness of humanity is based on fear. It's based on fear. So our melanin, because it's disconnected from the DNA, because you got a connected DNA, 2 strands, but you're supposed to have, 10 other strands, something like that.
To go with it, yes.
Huh?
I was saying the 10 other strands to go with it.
Right, which is found on the Kabbalah, or the Tree of Life. Now,
yeah.
So this particular DNA strands, because we're supposed to have 12 or what have you, but it might be multiple DNAs within the 12. But it's about like the movie Fifth Element when they showed the girl, it was the fifth element, and they showed her DNA, and it was multiple. In so many words, that particular part is called junk DNA. Now, the technosphere is this, a minor representation of disconnected DNA patterns. Together, 2 forms create a virtual mirror net. When the initial manifest the external structures, which in turn keeps the masses of humanity bound and hypnotized in a 3D world. These structures are fed and fed live off the negative emotions, body dysfunctions, and apparently unthinkable inherent family traumas and behaviors. So we have a multiple family traumas that's in us from generation to generation, and these DNA patterns, past, present, and future, is released from family and ancestral imprints. Now, this is the key on this. So this is what's going on here. We failed. What was left behind was 2 DNA strands. The other DNA strand is called junk DNA, and that's called melanin. Now, or chaos in the blood. Now, the junk DNA creates the matrix around us based on how we are programmed it. And basically, it is created by a series of fear. So, when we talk about the Illuminati, and that's why I tell people, get out of this old conspiracy stuff. Because when we talk about that, that is exactly what they want you to do. Because the more and more you deal with their agenda, the more and more you create the matrix around you. You see what I'm saying? Let's just say, if you say, well, that stuff doesn't exist, then it won't exist for you. It only exists when you get some people keep bombarding you with all this negative energy and all this fear, that your melanin creates the fear for you. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So in so many words, what we have been doing, especially black people, we have been creating this world, or we have had some intruders come in and make our mind into the garbage that it is. And we create a world that supports their existence and enslaves our existence. But it's being created through the melanin, the junk DNA. You see what I'm saying? And stuff. So that's why we got to get out. And so the thing about it is the reason why we know this. All this Illuminati material and secret society and conspiracy stuff started coming out maybe on a mass around 1993 or 1994. They got bombarded, and we figured it out. We said, wait a minute, these are the so-called Illuminati and the people that we're getting these books from. They're the one that putting these books out. Because the more and more you learn about the reality that you in and you thinking you learning about the conspiracy, the more and more you as black people create the matrix for the whole planet.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? And the more negative things that you deal with is the more you create negative stuff for your life.
Yes.
So they keep news going. They keep all of this particular foolishness going, only so it can get into your junk DNA and you create it and sustain the rulership. You see where I'm coming from here? Mm-hmm. We are creating it. That's what the movie Revolver was about. With Guy Ritchie, the guy, Madonna's husband, who did the movie, and it had Andre 2000 in it. And at the end of the movie, Andre 3000, what have you, whatever that was, 2003, whatever. In the movie. At the end of the movie, they had all these metaphysics people, and they were all saying, they're all saying that the enemy is being created from the person, from your own mind.
Yes.
Your matrix, your junk DNA creates the world around you.
If you change the rules on what controls you,
you will change the rules.
on what you can control. How radical are you prepared to be, Mr. Green?
Black nobility started what's called I fondi, the funds. In other words, they started like trust funds in Venice. That's where all the birth certificates are held. It has to be held on water, can't be held on the land, because law of the land trumps law of the water. So it all started in Venice. There was a war between two papal families, the Orsini and the Colonna, which is the Collins family, the Columbus who came to America. And they came from Genoa. The Colonna family and the Orsini family were killing each other in Rome and trying to have papal power. Eventually one pope turned up and made a papal bull and a decree that they should intermarry and make friends with each other. They started these funds, these trust funds. They operate on a very, very satanic system, which is the left-hand path, not the right-hand path. And they made a deal with each other, these satanic families, that they would put their money together and go and conquer all these Tartarian pre-existing peaceful civilizations like America and put a new flag on them. It was just a corporate takeover. They didn't build all these massive ancient buildings in Los Angeles. They were already here. They've been here for thousands of years.
I ain't with the imperialism. I ain't with the motherfuckers trying to make us feel like we got to be under you. Man, in the South, $5 million, I can live just like you, partner. I ain't never got to leave and go to the corner store, go back and feed the dogs and the hogs, man.
And get more property.
And live. I don't have to live by... most of y'all look like European and black skin, if you ask me. So don't play with me, bro. I was raised by a real man and a real woman. So I don't live by the industry's rules, regulations, and what they have made to be the cool image that we can sell to everybody and keep the industry going. No, bro, I ain't with none of that, man. I've been told these folk go somewhere. Come on now. I was blackballed on the first song I ever put out. So I'm going to go on out blackball. Come on now. I'm going to be listening to you for sure. I'm going to go on out blackball.
In this video, he speaks about what actually happens to you if you jump off a cruise ship. Make sure you watch until the end and let me know what you think in the comments below.
What actually happens to you if you jump off of a cruise ship? Yeah, so you guys know I'm former Coast Guard. All right, I was a navigator and I spent months, if not years, doing search and rescue on the open ocean. All right, I was a navigator. I went to school and learned how to find people lost at sea. So what happens to a person if they jump off of a big boat like a cruise ship? Well, let's talk. If you were to jump off of a big boat or a ship, right, you would want to do your very best to get as far away from the boat as possible. Most people are not strong enough swimmers. If you were to jump off of that boat and get too close to the boat when you hit the water, most of the time, more often than not, you're going to be pulled underneath the water and your body is going to go right through the screws. Yeah, the screws are those big propellers that turn. Some of those ships have got 2 of them. Some of them have got 4. But those things create a lot of suction and they're huge. It's not like a little bitty propeller. These propellers, these screws are as big as a Volkswagen in some cases. These things are huge, spinning through the water, churning up the water and chopping up everything that goes through them. Now, if you were to get far enough away from the boat that you could avoid the screws, and the ship, you know, they would start their emergency efforts, man overboard. Hopefully they saw something. It would take them a mile or more to turn around. Now, moving at 8 knots, you're looking at quite a long time that you're going to be in the water. And that's if you stay in the exact same spot that you fell in and they can easily find you. So the water in the ocean is much, much colder than the human body. The human body is 98.6 degrees, right? So if you're exposed to the water, and say the water's 80 degrees, which it's not, it's much, much colder than that. Think of it like this, like an ice cube. When you put an ice cube in the water, you know, eventually that ice cube will melt and become the same temperature as the water. Well, the human body does the same thing. So if you stick that human body in the ocean, given enough time, the human body will become the same temperature as the ocean. Now, while this is happening, you're freezing to death. All right. And you may not even realize it could be a sunny day, but the ocean is cold enough. If you sit in there long enough, yeah, you get hypothermia. You get confused. The darkness alone would probably be the most frightening thing if you didn't go through the screws. While you're treading water in that ocean and only hearing the wind in the water, in the darkness, maybe if you're lucky, there's a little moonlight. I imagine it would be one of the scariest things in the world. Right up until the point where the sharks that follow these boats around find you. So sharks are kind of like dogs. And over a millennia, we have trained these dogs. We have trained these sharks to follow boats around because every day they throw trash overboard. So what happens is as sharks get older and they're not, they're not as good at hunting, right? They get older and then they're not so quick. They start following around these ships. So you end up with these huge, huge sharks that follow these boats around. The chances of you jumping off of a cruise ship and surviving are slim to none. Slim to none. I don't recommend it. Peace and love.
Somewhere in Congo, watch.
They're cubs. The cubs aren't scary, are they?
No. What's this pile of people over here? Are these all people?
Yeah, they died. They all killed.
They died?
Yeah, they died and they killed. They're gonna eat them.
Who's gonna eat them?
The cheetahs. That's part of life. It's part of life, Mom.
Just gotta love it. All right, y'all. So let me get out of here. Well, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Nah, I think I'm just gonna surprise y'all. So yeah, so I got a surprise coming up for you guys. So stay tuned for that. Well, not stay tuned to this particular video, but stay tuned like to the channel, whatever. You know what I mean. Don't forget to like, share, and or subscribe. And all those other good things. I don't know, y'all. I'm tired. I'm a little loopy. Okay, so. That's it. The video has come to a close. I appreciate you guys for viewing. Love and light to every last one of you. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day or night or whatever. And until the next video, peace out.